He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
You've all seen it on the news. It's slave training. The naked body scanners recording your genitals. And by the way, I'm going to announce the winners tomorrow. I always get behind on these contests because there's scores of videos to watch, but I've got to narrow down to just a few. I will announce tomorrow absolutely the winners of the naked body contest video that's now educating so many people out there. The TSA knows it's an act of submission. Now they have mobile trucks they want. We've played the Homeland Security videos where outside sports stadiums or events, they're going to make you go through these naked body scanners. But you've seen it on the news where they get women and men, but especially women, and the TSA guards take their hands and go around the women's breast. And Paul Watson in England talked about his girlfriend, and I talked to her on the phone. She said it's very painful. But imagine having people squeezing your breast, putting their hands between your legs, doing all of this. But what happened with Christine Ebersole is that she said, no, you're not going to touch my breast because, you know, there's a little piece of metal in her bra. And so they let her on through, but then basically sent a SWAT team after her as an act of submission. Christine Ebersole, ChristineEbersole.com, is an American actress and singer. She's been a veteran of television, film, and Broadway for a number of years. She starred in a number of television programs, including Saturday Night Live, One Life to Live, Will and Grace, Shoot Me, Just Shoot Me, and Murphy Brown. She found considerable success, also appearing in Oklahoma, Camelot, Dinner at 8, Steel Magnolias, 42nd Street, which she won the Tony Award for Best Leading Actress in a Musical. And I've gotten a chance to know her. She's a 9/11 skeptic, a 9/11 truther, somebody that has a lot of courage. And I've had a chance to march with her in Lower Manhattan, and had a chance to go out with her and her husband for dinner. She's a great lady, and again, we appreciate her coming on with us. She called me, I guess it was Saturday, somewhat agitated but still controlled, saying she was on the plane, that she just basically been SWAT teamed at the airport. And again, this is psychological conditioning to then have these type of activities on the streets. They now have federal grants for police to take blood without warrants all over the country. In many states, this is happening. And it's just really getting into our comfort zones, really getting into our space, doing things that are more authoritarian. You know, the Nazis stopped you at checkpoints and asked for papers. Well, now they want your blood. Now they want to scan your body. The British government admits, and our government admits, these body scanners violate child porn laws, but they don't care. Christine Ebersole, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Alex. I really think this is an important story to let people know that we have rights as sovereign human beings, and I think I was exercising them on that Sunday in Burbank Airport. But I just wanted to share with you just kind of the straight up about what happened. I've been traveling a lot because I'm a singer, and I've been doing concerts around the country. And I first became concerned, at that staged underwear bomber Christmas pageant, as I call it, which allowed them to put in the scanners in Chicago. And I was very worried about that because I thought, I'm not going to go through the scanners. I'm not going to subject myself to the radiation, and let alone that it's a violation of my privacy. So I did stop through Chicago, and I was kind of had spent some sleepless nights rehearsing what I was going to say. But I was able to circumvent that because because they make it random, and they do these random sort of drills, and they just keep you off balance, so you never know what's going to hit you or at what time or when. But at this particular case, I was able to circumvent it and go through a place that was not a scanner, a naked body scanner. However, when I did go through the metal detector and didn't put off any alarms in Chicago, they patted me down. They said, I have to pat you down. And I never said anything, because you're always surprised when it's a new experience. You don't really have the wherewithal to say the things that you want to say. But afterwards, I just felt this sort of toxic residue and felt ashamed and felt embarrassed and humiliated. And it stayed with me for a long time. And then the second time that it happened, when I traveled again, and I had gone through the metal detectors and made no sound, but then it's always, in my case, when a female guard it's almost like the prison, the female prison guard, that wants to just show dominance. whenever it's a female. I don't really get it when it's going through when there's men behind the...
Yeah, this is a prisoner. I mean, we're all being trained, people who'd never be inside a jail, to go through a prison frisking procedure.
Yeah. So it's always the women that pick me out randomly and say, you have to be patted down. So then the second time it happened, I said, why? Why are you patting me down? It's random. So then I let her do it again. And again, I felt this like toxic residue and it felt
Which again sets the precedent that we all randomly assert, getting rid of the Fourth and Fifth Amendment.
Exactly. So what happened was I kind of forgot about it, and I did a concert in Northridge on Saturday night, and Sunday morning I was flying to San Francisco. So I went through the Burbank airport. So my flight was around 9:30. I get to the airport around 8:15. And one of the first things that happened was when I'm putting on my shoes, to put them in the security bin, all of a sudden somebody from Homeland Security starts shouting. I don't know what they're saying because, it's all new and it's just sort of chaotic. And everybody's ordered to freeze in their spot, whatever they're doing, freeze. And then some time goes by, and then you're able to continue what you're doing.
And again, this is so Orwellian. They're just adding more and more controls, more and more harassment. And they do this with the school kids in these drills now, too, training us how to be prisoners.
Exactly. So I asked one of the guards, I said, what was that about? He says, it's just a drill, ma'am, in case something happens. So then after I take, my shoes off and everything, and I go through, and I'm not wearing any jewelry, nothing. I don't set off any alarms. Oh, there's a woman guard on the other side, and she says, you have to go right behind the metal detector is sort of a glass room where everybody can see.
Which, again, is part of the public humiliation, training you to just put up with anything.
So she takes me back into the glass room, and she says, I have to pat you down. I said, I don't want to be patted down. So that kind of surprised him a little bit. I said, you can use the wand, but I don't want you to touch me. So they kind of ignored it a little bit, because they were...
Which is a basic human right, to not be touched.
Exactly.
I mean, again, they're just... They're blowing past all these boundaries, and I know I keep interrupting. I just want to point out how each part of this has been psychologically designed to humiliate you and break your will. Go ahead.
Exactly. So I said, you can use the wand. So she has me, first of all, sit down and look at the bottom of my feet to make sure there's no bomb-making material on my bare feet. And then I'm supposed to spread my legs and stand on the image of feet on the floor. And so at this certain distance, so I'm spreading my legs. And she says, if the wand goes off, I'm going to have to touch the spot where the wand, makes the noise. So the bra that I was wearing has wire in it, and metal. There's little metal things in the strap. So she gets to the point where it's underneath my breast, and the alarm goes off. And rather than touching me there, I lifted my shirt and showed her my bra. I said, this is my bra, and you see the wire underneath that? That's what's making the sound. This was in lieu of having her touch me there, because I instructed I did not want her to touch me.
And again, here you are, this evil, guilty person for having tiny little clips in your bra, and you're now the prisoner in having to go through this. This is the new American way.
So because I lifted my bra in this glass area, I lifted my shirt and showed my bra, which everyone could see. I didn't mind. You wear that in the summertime when you're at the beach. So I said, but I don't want her to touch me. So I showed the bra, and that's when the supervisor came in, or what I assume was the supervisor. And she said, are we having a problem here? I said, no, there's no problem. She said,
we having a problem here, slave?
Yeah. And it was with a slight, of course, the attitude. And basically went on to lecture me that I'm causing trouble because I'm impeding the security measures. And she went on to explain again if it was any sound, she'd have to touch that spot. I said, well, ma'am, I answer to a higher authority. And I am a sovereign human being, which means I am the supreme authority over my body. And I have a right as a sovereign human being to ask you not to touch me. I'm not a criminal. I haven't been accused of a crime. Are you suspecting me of something? Are you looking for something? She said, we're looking for bra bombs. You see, now they've moved from the shoe to the underwear and now to the bra. And it's interesting how now they're going to the traditionally in tribal, law, the more vulnerable group. the women who bear the children that are there for the tribe to protect.
And let's remember,